Introduce myself. My name is Ikem Patrick DK. My name is Ikem Patrick DK, and I'm the host of this program, a weekly program on Black and White Web TV, and I'll be presenting my guest. Mr. Ayo, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Ayo Gudumu, known as Citizen AY, and I'm very much glad to be here. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you all. So yes, can't wait to get engaged in this discussion.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And the introduction goes to you, Magnus Oraka.
Yeah, my name is Magnus Oraka. I'm from Delta State, proper Urubuman. Any other Urubuman is fake. I'm the original one. Happy to be here.
Yes, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this week edition of B&W Web Interactive. And as we all know, we live in a time where many tribes in Nigeria are facing challenges. And one of the challenges is a threat to their source of livelihood, the land in which they cultivate and farm for survival. And today we have a section in the country who are demanding this same land from the indigenous people for cattle grazing. And my question goes to Magnus Oraka. First of all, for the past 1 week, we've seen the situation, we've seen threats all over the place, and I know you live in the region where this threat is coming from. What have been your perception? And you just give us a little breakdown of your perception about the threat on the Southerners in the north.
Let me quickly respond to you. See, a lot of us in the south, we don't know how this pool operates. Sometimes when I see the people that claim to be our representatives respond to the gameplay of these Fulani people, I laugh. Let me tell you, that threat of the youth, it's in consonance with the government of the day. These people suspended Ruga settlement and then create this youth to give out that threat, just to test the waters. The threat of the youth might be a reason for the federal government to bring another angle to the actualization of this Ruga thing. So it is not the RYU that is actually making that threat. It is the federal government that is making that threat through the youth. So it's amazing that we are saying the youth issue the threat. It's not you that issue threat. It's the federal government that is issuing that threat. Now, perhaps when we hear that government suspended Ruga, we will now lean on our OAS and then think it is all over. My brother, that thing is still as relevant as it was when it was not suspended. And the earlier we begin to even be more, how do I put it? Be more vocal and be more ruthless in our rejection of this Ruga, the better for us. I think it is time we threw away. You see, when I heard you mention Ayo, I was shocked. I said, wait till they bring Ngbati for here again. But it clearly shows that the situation has made it necessary that we go beyond those primordial differences of you are Yoruba man, you are Igbo man, you are this. Look, the earlier we jettison those self-inflicting bias, we will not go anywhere. So I'm happy to see Mr. Ayo here. It shows that there's a tendency for us to get it right. Even though this is weird, I'm scared, but let's go on. Thank you very much.
You don't finish my time already. Hello, everyone. Now, thank you very much for the question as well. It's a really good question. Listen, my fellow Nigerians, what is Southerners, and this message is for you Southerners. Look, let's be frank with ourselves. Kudos to the Igbo guys. Igbo have been preparing for this for a long time. And
That's
even
true.
the Edo and the Yoruba people have been preparing. But where are we, the Yorubas, in this matter? We are not speaking with one voice that the Igbos are doing. So straight away, I agree with Magnus's assessment. Magnus said it. He said, and I recall now, he said, look, the youth, the northern youth, are speaking on behalf of the government. Now let's break that down. Let's break that down, what that really means. It means that the government now, they've done a two-pronged attack. They say, okay, you know what? The people are rumbling. Let's pretend, let's play a game. Let's see how if they bite this one. We will say we are going to suspend settlement. But at the same time, we will send our people in to tell them that the youth are giving us, the same people again, 30 days in which they have to institute Ruga. And again, they are monitoring what we are doing. They're monitoring our reactions in the South all the time. We have to remember this. And that is what we mustn't fall for it. It's a game. They are one and the same. And the quicker we get on in the South and begin to unite, like Magnus said again, I like the second thing Magnus said, we need to get away from this idea of, oh, it's a Igbo, or it's a Yoruba, or it's a Yoruba, or Edo, or what. We forget that. In the South, we must stand as one. Let's not forget, the proof in this pudding is this. The Northerners haven't got the numbers. They haven't got the numbers to face us in the South if we stand together. And if you ask me why, if you say why, I will tell you that is why they are going to Niger, Chad, all these other places to bring in Fulani to make up numbers. And even then, they can't match us. They can't match us in the South. We have got to be aware of that. So the quicker we stop this nonsense of, bad mouthing each other in the South, we have a disaster coming our way if we do not work together. If we start working and say, no, I'm only interested in Southeast, I'm only interested in South, you know what? They will pick us up one by one. So the best way we can defeat these guys, in my opinion, is everybody in the South. Right up to Benue, begin to work together, speak with one voice, all our actions. And we need each of those particular areas, Igbo, the Yoruba, the Edo, to have formed units that are strong enough that can work together, so that we make sure that we become impenetrable. That's my my take on things.
Hello, Mr. Pan. Let me quickly add something here.
Yeah.
Where did you get this wise Yoruba man?
Well, Magnus, as you move on, you have the privilege of meeting people.
In my whole life, since I was giving birth to, I have never met a Yoruba man that has spoken like this. In fact, as he was talking there, I was feeling cold. There was shivery sensation running to my body, because I have always believed that most Yorubas, and all of a sudden you present me with one very wise man. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know you from anywhere, but may God bless you. Amen, I don't know you from anywhere, but I don't, because you are helping me to change my perspective about the Yoruba people. Because let me use this opportunity to talk to Yoruba people. I beg, please emulate this, Mr. Ayo. You see, one thing the Caliphate did is to infect the Yoruba people with Islam, which is what the Igbos are trying very hard to prevent. Now, the Hausas are penetrating through Ebonyi by setting up the largest mosque, even with money, bribing, luring Igbo youth to accept Islam, because the brand of Islam Fulani is bringing is not a religion for spiritual preservation. It is a brand of Islam that once you accept it, it affects your psyche to the point that you let all your being to be used as slaves or as followers of the Islamic Caliphate. Check out Okene, Kogi, those middle belt that have been completely conquered. Try to convince an Okene man, or a Muslim man from Kogi, or a Muslim man from Nasarawa, or a Muslim man from Igbo, try to convince them that Buhari is not good, they will be the one to fight you to the death that Buhari is it. That is what the brand of Islam that Fulani Caliphate has brought to Nigeria. So the problem with the Yoruba people is not as if they don't know what is happening to Nigeria. It is because the brand, the infectious brand of Islamic politics that the Fulani has brought has deeply, cancerously affected the Yoruba people. Try talk to a Yoruba Muslim. You think as if he is bewitched. So and that is the problem of the Yoruba people. Mr. Ayo, I pray you are not offended. But sometimes we have to tell ourselves, the truth.
Yes, yes, you're right.
I hope Mr. Pat told you. I told you before now that I give it straight as it is. I don't hold back punches.
No, I know already, and you shouldn't. I don't. Look, we've got to save our country. We cannot afford to be be sensitive about something. We need to say it like it is, because if we don't say it like it is, I'm telling you, they will completely decimate the whole of the South, and they will take it. So we need to say it like it is. And I have been saying this myself. The Yorubas, the Muslim Yorubas, they are in serious danger, because they think, if they become Muslim and if they accept Muslim, the Islamic Caliphate that they're not are saying, that they won't get taught, they won't get killed. It is a lie.
Huge one.
The thing that the Caliphate will do, once they hear you speak Yoruba, you are under attack. And I've been saying it. It is time that the Muslim Yoruba wake up. They have to stop trying to follow this northern cabal nonsense, because they are tricking Yorubas. They are lulling them into a false sense of safety. It is a big lie. So I am telling all my Yoruba brothers, fine if you want to practice Islam, but please do not get sucked into the Islamic Caliphate as practiced by the Northerners, because they want you to now say you want your own people to be destroyed, all for saving the Northern, and will put your people in harm, yourself included, if you continue down this road. So I agree with you. So again, one more thing I'd like to say. Many of our southern leaders, they have been so influenced by the money that the Northerners have been put, that they've forgotten that the Northerners have got an end game. They have a plan. The plan is to conquer. They will not stop until they get to the Atlantic Ocean. That is their plan. And it's quicker. Those who are in power realize that. And if they don't realize it, my job as a Yoruba man, is to wake up the people who are not in power, to now kick out those who are traitors to Yoruba people. How can you have an emir in Lagos? Are we allowed to have an Oba in Kano or Kaduna? If we had in Kano or Kaduna, if we dare have it, he will come, they will send him back. We'll be lucky if we see any part of his body left. He will be cut to smithereens. Yet we in the South, we accept that nonsense. One of the things that we should start doing, everybody in the South, if you're an Igbo man, please, from now on, only wear Igbo clothes. If you're a Yoruba man, only wear Yoruba. Don't wear Hausa clothes, because that is a sign of enslavement.
I've since burnt all my Hausa attire.
Yes, we need to look. Let's do their meat. We don't look. By the way, the meat they're selling us. Have you seen the video where they're sending? They're doing kilishi with meat that is rotten. There is a video that I have on my page. Go on Citizen AY. There's a video where they're selling kilishi and you can see flies all over this kilishi. That's number one. Another one, there is a stockfish that they're selling, and they're putting sniper. They're putting sniper in the fish.
Let me add to this cow thing. Now you see this Fulani herdsmen, they make love to these cows, and some of them have diseases like HIV and all of that, and then they infect this cow. Ever ask yourself why Fulanis don't eat cow? A Fulani man will cook soup and not put cow meat inside.
You see?
They don't eat meat. They don't eat the same meat they are selling for us. Why? Now some of these meats come to South with some strange diseases, and we eat them. and we don't know what disease we are eating.
That's it.
You understand me? So when they infect this, okay.
Gentlemen, can I interfere a little bit?
Yes, you can.
Sorry. Yeah, because I gave you all the time to dialogue within yourselves, and I can understand your positions. Your positions are clear. We've seen situations where certain, like Oraka said, that it's difficult to find Yorubas like our brother here, Mr. Ayo. And I can tell you that there are lots and lots of Yorubas out there who are as intelligent as Mr. Ayo, no doubt. You know, but where I find fault is their inability to speak out. We see the likes of Femi Fani-Kayode, who have kept on speaking, who never showed any kind of fear. We've seen some other Yoruba people who are bold in their assertions, who are bold and convinced on what exactly they want. So I can give it to the Yorubas that they are not as stupid as we think they are. Just like you have the stupid Yorubas, you have also the stupid Igbos. Indeed. So you cannot completely alienate the Yorubas and say that we have only few. There are lots and lots and lots of them. And the Ara Akakanfo of Yoruba, Gani Adams have made it very clear and known on the issue of Ruga. So we should also be able to recognize that. So, but what I'm trying to say here is, the issue of Ruga is still on the table. I watched the interview of Yakasai.
Yes.
The Fulani, one of the spokesperson, one of the elders, and he said that the suspension of Ruga is not the end of Ruga. And having said that, it shows that, you know, they haven't given up on the struggle for Ruga settlement. What should we do to give them the signal that even though they decide to rebrand Ruga, that we are still going to stand up and resist? Mr. Ayo, can you please respond to that question?
Okay.
Right. What the first thing we must do, the first thing every Southerner must do, boycott their food today, not tomorrow, today. Boycott everything, their vegetables, their meat, their clothes, everything from the north, boycott today. If we all did that, and they knew, and they now understand that we're not buying anything from them, that will say, that's number one. Number two, we need to rapidly mobilize among our Yoruba people. The Igbos are mobilized, the Edo people to a certain extent, mobilize and start preparing our people for what they are going to do. We need to prepare for them coming to attack us. Because even though they say they suspend, the Fulani headsmen will still be coming at us every night. A man was killed last Saturday in Ekiti, Ori. The name of the man, late Sunday Lori, was defending his land. We need more men, more people stepping up. It's all about securing our land and our property and our people. So those two things are the things I would say. Go ahead.
I think for me, I think for now we are fighting the wrong people. You get me? We have people, chief security officers of our states. We are not mounting enough pressure for them. By the time we have a mega protest of each state going to their governors to make a strong declaration against Ruga, not going to Abuja, each state, or your Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, Delta, Enugu, everybody march and say, governors should make a clear statement like that of Wike. Even Wike was political. Even Wike was political, but people should come out in bold, clear terms that Governor Magnus Oraka of Delta State, on behalf of the people of Delta State, strongly, in clear terms, reject government's decision to set up Fulani settlement in whatever name, be it Ruga, anything. We reject it in entirely. Yeah.
Just a moment, please. In my own personal view, this question goes to Mr. Ayo. In my personal view, and in your own personal view, would we agree that our people have not done enough to demonstrate that they actually reject Ruga? They have not come out to actually. We are talking about the citizens whose lives are being threatened. Do you think they've done enough to really send a message to the government, to their state governments? No. The people they put in power, the people they hand over the responsibility of the state to. Do you think they've done enough, really, the citizens of the southern state? Do you think they've done enough to show the government that they actually reject Ruga?
The short answer is no, and I will to no. For every time that the governors, for the time now that they've been saying they will have meetings about this Ruga thing and the fact that Fulani men, headmen, killing people in the south. The governors have just said, oh, we send in people after. They are always sending in people, police or army, after the event. The people should already, from day one, be putting the pressure on the government, the governor, and saying, you are the governor. We don't care what the DP says or whatever. We want you to protect us night and day. Our people can go to their farm, cannot accept being killed as a citizen, and you do nothing about it. They should be putting pressure, like you're saying, on the governor, the people working with the governor. All of them, we should be putting pressure, and the people, we need our citizens to be working collectively. You see, the problem that we are facing in the South is that we've been too brainwashed to think about individuality. As long as I'm okay, as long as I can have money and get security and protect my family, I'm okay. But you see, the problem is when these Fulani headsmen come, they will take, it doesn't matter what security you have, they are being funded by the government. We need to understand they're being given weapons, they're being given all kinds of support. So trying to you alone to try and think, oh, as long as I'm okay, you are under a false pretense. So it's time that the people in the South understand that our collective action together in each state, even if in each locality, is of urgent importance now. We need people to be doing that now. So for me, we are terribly, severely exposed, and I want the citizens in the South to recognize the danger that we face, and they need to be putting pressure, just like Magnus said, on the governor, because the chief security officer is the governor, and we're not putting enough pressure on him. For example, the man that died in Ekiti, he's died now a week. Governor Fayemi has not been to the family to condole with the family, but Governor Fayemi is saying, oh, we are looking at Ruga settlements. And that's what the people should be putting pressure on him. No, we the people, we are telling you in clear, no uncertain terms that you do not, under any circumstances, look at Ruga settlement. You look protect our lives. That's the kind of thing I expect our people to do. And that can only happen when we put collective pressure on those in power. And that means by protest, by on their doorstep, stopping them from doing what they need to do.
Thank you, Mr. Ayo. Magnus, please, Magnus, please, when you are not speaking, could you please mute your mic so that you help us?
Okay.
Now, I want to ask you, Magnus, the laxity of our people.
No. There is an important question we are missing, and if we don't answer it here,
go ahead and
there's one. Now, there is a justification that the North is trying to put for agitating for Ruga settlement in the South. And the justification is that since Southerners are allowed legally to do business in the North, they too should have the legality of setting up Ruga businesses or Ruga settlement in the South. Now, that argument to me from the Northern youth to justify why they should set up Ruga settlement in the South is not stupid. It clearly shows how stupid they have perceived us in the South to be. That is including the Igbo, Urobo, and Yorubas. It's an argument that shows we are so stupid enough to accept that line of thought. Now, a southerner go to the north and he pays for everything. The government of the south does not go there and forcefully take land from the north to give to the south to enable the south set up business that they don't pay tax. Now you are asking the south, the government of the day now, because it's from your area or from your ethnic and religious lineage, goes to the south and acquire forcefully land for you that you set up to rear cattle, the same business as you do, that the profit and revenue, remuneration, everything comes to you as an individual who owns that business. You don't contribute anything to the national capital. So for them to put up the argument that it is an equilibrium to allow Fulani to set up Ruga settlement in the south so that it equates the same reasoning that supports a southerner going to the north to set up business is a clear definition of how they think we are stupid enough to accept that line of thinking that justifies their incursion into our land. I say no, sir. It is a very, very different thing. Whereas one is following due process by respecting the laws of the states of that land, of the laws of the state where he wants to occupy to start business in whatever land that he's exercising that business. The other is seeking to acquire land forcefully and facilitate exclusivity on that land so that it becomes permanently his own. That we say, no, sir, it will not work. If you come to my land and you say, okay, you are looking for a piece of land, government now decides where he will give you, and then you pay either by lease or by rent, and then you pay tax to the government of the day. That way, then you can begin to create an equilibrium between the business of the southern man in the north and the business of the Fulani man in the south. Otherwise, this is pure daylight, wicked mischief that the Fulani man from the north is trying to impose on the south. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Magnus Oraka. Each time you finish, you round up. Could you please mute your mic so that it will help us get a better recording? I've had a Fulani person come on the media to say that the Fulanis are paying taxes on the cows. But since I was born till this moment, I've never heard the federal government declare the amount of tax derivation they are getting from the Fulani businesses like the cows and the livestock. The Ministry of Agriculture have not actually shown us the tax derivation over the years to prove that when they invest this huge amount of money into these livestock by seizing people's land, that is going to bring back economic benefit. Mr. Ayo, don't you think that there is this tendency to take people for granted because of lack of education? Unmute your mic and respond to this question, please.
Come on. Yes, definitely. There is definitely the government is trying to exploit the lack of education. But here's the thing. Actually, you know what? In the South, more people are educated in the South. Yes, the level of education is still low. But when you compare it to the Northern, people are still more educated in the South. But here's the thing that is more concerning for me. The government recently, they found gold, diamond, and uranium in Adamawa and all these northern states. Yet, it wasn't accounted for in our TSA, single account. The single account but none of the income from those mineral resources have been declared. But we found out that they've been mining gold for years. They've been mining diamond for years. And yet, they are now saying to us now that the people of the South should give up their birthright, their land, in exchange for the government giving those lands for nothing. Then you know, it's not as if the government say, okay, if you give your land to the Ruga thing, you will get a 99-year lease or you will get a rent. Nothing of the sort. They are saying you just move out the way for the Ruga, and the Ruga owns it. They take the settlement takes the land, and that's the end of it. And that is very, very wrong. Now they are trying to enforce this. You see, when the government is trying to enforce something that they know that's clearly wrong, what they try to do is to scare. And how do they scare people? They scare Southerners by killing us, and in most cases, you've had a lot of killings. Look at Benue, 73 plus dead, and that's the ones that we know of. And there are cases where as they're killing people, they're burying them, and then they say, from now on, this land becomes my own. This land is now a Hausa land. So we are in the South have got to be very, very conscious that this government has got an agenda, and we must be ready. That's why I say we need to stand up together. We need to be standing together. So going back to your question, yes, some of us are not literate enough to understand the movement of the government, but still more of us in the South are educated. And the ones of us who are educated, our job surely must be to now assist and help those who are uneducated and say, look, no. We need to stand together. And that is why the collective effort is so important. Because if we all stand together, those of us that have that education, we can impart that knowledge on those who haven't got that knowledge and prevent the federal government installing this Ruga settlement. I hope that makes some kind of sense. I know it's complicated, but I hope that makes some kind of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot. It makes a lot of sense, and I think we need to also move into town hall meetings to educate our people to really understand that they have a danger ahead of them, especially those in the remote areas. Magna Soraka, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so because very soon we'll be rounding up this program. Magnus.
Yes.
What do you think we have to do to actually wake our people up, especially our Southerners in the riverine area? Excuse me, just hold on a moment. Whose source of livelihood have already been destroyed by oil pollution? And at some point, we heard that even the Fulanese made a statement that they will be. There was a time they said that they might be vacating the people from our riverine areas, which means automatically they might be even taking over some of the river banks. So how do we reach out to these people to understand that their lives are in danger? That they need to wake up, and we thank God for the River State Governor, Wike, who have stood his ground. And if other governors have come out to speak the way Wike is speaking, tensions would have been, low in the southern states. But most of these governors are busy sneaking around. Nobody knows their position. Today they say one thing, tomorrow they say another. But how do you think we can educate our people more to make them understand that the Fulanis are not your friends? They are there to kill you and take over your land, and we must resist them.
Now, there are people, before this chat, there are plans underway. Like I have a WhatsApp group now, and they are actually making plans to see how we can gather finances to organize. It used to be to organize town hall meetings, but now we want to organize crusade. It has to be a crusade. We go to the villages and mount podium and organize a crusade. I speak English, somebody interprets in their local dialect and tell them that, look at what is coming. Now you have access to WhatsApp or Facebook or other social media channels. They don't have it. So they are perpetually living in oblivion. So they don't know what's coming to them. Somebody has to take the story to them. Somebody has to take the story to them. Now, it's so unfortunate that even in the Bible, when God picks his disciples, they usually are not perfect, but they have one distinct thing that God sees that makes God pick them. Moses, for instance, was supposed to go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. But do you know that Moses was a stammerer? It must be foolish for God to be picking somebody who is a stammerer to go and talk. But God saw that he had a royal blood and has experience of living in the royalty of the Pharaoh's house. So he's the only one who can stand and talk to the other Pharaoh. But he was a stammerer and he used Aaron to be his interpreter. You get me? And so is Samson, Solomon, all the great men in the Bible. They all have flaws. So now me, that God has taken, I also have my flaws. Yes, I have the courage. Yes, I have the fearlessness.